I'm sending that in real slowly there.
Yeah. So it doesn't push the bar back in.
Yeah, yeah. Because the drill bit will only like go in certain speed, I suppose.
Yeah, if you run it too fast, it'll just, like I say, push the bar back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the part will be too short.
Wow. That's crazy.
It didn't take long, did it?
No, that is so quick, it's unreal. Like, wow.
No, it's running. The next one, just let it fucking go.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So there's all the new spaces for the front of the forelink now. Big thanks to Nick for sorting that out. Appreciate it, mate. So it just shows you what proper tooling can do. It makes so many different things all the way through the week, and just like this is proper old school building with all the old school machineries, which is really cool to see still going. So let's get back and we'll start putting this back together. Right, so we're back in the shop. We got them spacers in that Nick made for me. They worked a treat, and exactly finished up all that, and I even put the spacers in the panhard rod as well, which I had. But we're going to come off the brown Corolla for a little bit. We're going to get back onto the race car, just make a little bit more progress. I want to do a little bit on it at each time. So this time round, we're going to be taking all the stickers off, all the way down the side skirt, all the way down the sill, all around the back. We're going to put different. These are all the class sponsors for my class I run in, and we're going to take them off because we're going to make it look cleaner. I'd like to kind of clean the car up a bit. We need the class sponsors stickers on the car, but what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put them on a different position on the car. So I'm going to clean them back up. Bloomcart have agreed to come back on board again, so massive thank you to Bloomcart for coming back on board and supporting me again for another year. Redline Hydraulics is actually gone now, that company, so we're going to put Bloomcart over Redline Hydraulics, and we're going to make a logo to go over this. Obviously it's not a sticker, it's paint, but we're going to make it kind of look incorporate into that, and then maybe do something with that in the future. On the Dad's original car, this was your Urasa batteries, so maybe I can get in contact with them and maybe see if they can support me. That'd be really cool to have, because they supported Dad years ago when they were a tiny company, and now they're a massive company. So maybe that's something we can lead into. So let's get cracking on this. Film it, but I got all the stickers off, and as you can see, it's all like nice and clean again. And I also got all the rubber out the arches, which normally my best mate Rich does, but as I'm kind of waiting for a tool to be fixed, I'm twiddling my fingers. So another reason why I am back on the other Corolla today. So I'm going to get back into this again. There's a few jobs we can do. The job mainly involves the next job mainly involved kind of doing all the bead rolling and go from there. But I think today I'm just going to concentrate on cutting stuff out, which is kind of satisfying in a way. So we're going to try and cut the whole tunnel out. I'm also going to cut this panel through here and make that as an easy access as possible. A lot of people would probably say, why didn't you just tube the front? I only tube the front of a car if it's got damaged. So eventually, hopefully not soon, when this does get damaged on the front end, we'll tube it, and we'll probably do it like I did the Sleeker and all, aluminium tube it, keep it lightweight. But we've realised that we're going to need to tub the car anyway, because we ain't even got spacers on, and that tyre's already hitting that inner wing, and it ain't even low yet on the front. So we're going to cut them inner wings out. We're going to cut this section out and make this removable. And we're going to do a lot of measurements off Darren's. Darren's got a CD09 gearbox. I'm not putting a CD09 in this, but if I have to, I want to make sure I've got the room. So I'm going to cut all the gearbox tunnel out front to back. Now, the other thing that a lot of people do, and I've seen it a lot in the States, is obviously the top shaft loop is perfectly round. And I could make the tunnel completely right to this, but I like the flat top of the tunnel. Plus it gives you a better access for your gear lever and stuff. So I'm going to put this in, but I'm going to make it like radius, then touch the top and then radius again. But when we come to that, I mean, at the moment today, we're just going to cut it all out, get some of this sound deadening out of the way. I might, to be honest, I was thinking about this the other day. I might try and keep this in, just to keep it a bit more street car. Obviously, all that'll be gone because it's all going to be cut out. So yeah, that's the plan today. We're going to chop that out, and then if that goes quite well, we'll also maybe start on the rear arches, but we'll see. I've got everything on to make the rear arches in theory. So I'll just put the discs back on, put the spacers on. Obviously I'll have to chop the outside of the arch out, which is all marked out to do that. But yeah, we're going to concentrate at the moment with the tunnel, that slam panel, inner wings. So let's get chopping. You just seen me cut out basically all the inner wings and stuff. I've just been and measured Darren's gearbox, and it's basically overall 17 inches wide. So the tunnel's got to be 17 inch or above. So I got a feeling, I measured off his shield, which is it's basically 16 and a half, I think. So what we're gonna have to do is measure upwards. So it's gonna be quite high. So I'm just trying to think what we could do. I might put a block of wood under here so we can got height here so we match the floor. So I know exactly where I've got to come. And then I'll mark it all out, I think. And then once we've got this marking, I'll slice through the bulkhead. That will give us a reference point to where the rest of the tunnel is going to go. So that will be fairly simple, I think. And we can start chopping. We've got a lot of brackets we can chop off this bulkhead as well. Some of these holes are not going to be used, so they can be welded up. And go from there really. We're just doing all the little jobs we can do today before we could get the bead roller fixed. And at least we're still making progress then. That's the main thing, is just to stay motivated, stay on the progress wagon, and just keep going. So let's get this marked out and then we'll get this chopped out. Well, as you can see, I've got a marking done here, but what I'm going to do is actually going to cut it an inch lower to start with, because we can always chop more material out. We can't put it back in easy enough. So we'll do an inch lower than that line, and then once we've got a reference point there, we can go into the inside of the car and start working out to chop the rest out. So that should be about here, and then we'll get, you can see the shape I'm going to go for. It's going to be kind of like that, so it'll be nice and kind of look semi-factory, and it'll give us plenty of room to work on the gearbox, and if we ever have to take it out, hopefully we won't have to, but you never know, these cars get abused. And yeah, make our life easier. So let's get cutting. Cool. Hello.
Why are you running? Why?
So I've got a few brackets to cut off. So that's fine. We'll cut this seat mount mounting off. We'll get some of the sound deadening off and get some spot wires drilled out. We'll take that platform off. And then, yeah, hopefully get some of this sound deadening off here and take these gearbox mount brackets off as well. and go from there. We've got a bit more room to work on now. As you can see, basically got all that done. I've even cut the rear arches out and put an inch spacer on, and I actually think it's too much. So I'm going to order some 15-inch spacers.
Stop it. Get some help.
And we're going to try that, I think, because looking at the width at the front and the width at the back, the front's going to need about a 10 mil, 15 mil, but I'd like the back to look good because I want it low. But the problem is, if I have the wheel here, it might not be low. So I'm going to keep the spacers anyway, and then I'll try it, but we'll see. We're just going to play that by ear, but we chopped both of them out completely, and we've got the height we want. So I think we're going to call it an episode for that one, because it's not massively much interesting in this, It's not a massively interesting episode, this one, because of what we've had to do and all, but we're making progress. We've some tubes arrived, so we're going to put some extra bracing in the back. So that's the one thing I am going to do, is I'm going to put a brace from this tube up to this cross going underneath the panhard rod. And obviously we'll put this in as well for the prop shaft loop. But I want to say thanks very much for watching. Thanks for all the kind comments on the previous videos, and it just psychs me up to keep going and get this done. And hopefully we'll start getting into the really cool stuff soon. Get the rear arches done. I'm going to get the fuel tank sorted, get that somewhere mounted. Now I've got all the bits for that. And then we can start working on the fabrication of the tunnel and stuff like that. So we're going to get the bolts all at the zinc coaters, and then we'll come back and we'll start putting bits together, and we'll see an engine and box mounted and go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.